Today we are going to take a look at my top 3 RTS games for under $10. First up is Blitzkrieg 2, a World War II RTS from 2005. If you buy the game on Steam, you'll get the Blitzkrieg 2 Anthology, which besides the base game includes 2 of the game's extra mission add-ons as well. The main game comes with 3 campaigns, a Soviet, German, and an American one, which will take you across Europe, Africa, and the Pacific. These campaigns together make up almost 70 missions, some of which see you control a small Spec Ops-sized team behind enemy lines, all the way up to managing hundreds of units during large offensive or defensive operations. What really sets Blitzkrieg 2 apart to me is the campaign progression system, as well as the small but very dedicated modding community. I think that in general, Blitzkrieg 2 is a little bigger in scale compared to, say, games like Men of War, Company of Heroes, or Gates of Hell, and this allows Blitzkrieg 2 to include airstrikes as well as direct controllable aircraft. Blitzkrieg is an older game, but if you consider that this game costs just about 3 coffees regularly, or the price of a single coffee when the game is on sale, versus the amount of missions, mods, and a general playtime you're gonna get out of it, you'd be crazy not to give it a try. The next one is a game very close to my heart, World in Conflict. This is arguably the best RTS that I have ever played, especially when it comes down to the campaign. Even though it was released back in 2007, I think the graphics still hold up to this day, especially when you compare it to, say, the original Company of Heroes, which only came out a year earlier and definitely looks a lot less good. The game is set in an alternate history where the Soviets not only invaded Western Europe, but also the east and west coasts of the United States in the late 80s. In the game's campaign, you control European and American, as well as Soviet forces throughout 20 missions in what I think might be the best campaign an RTS game has ever seen. Not only does Alec Baldwin voice the player's character who narrates the story between missions, there are also rendered cutscenes that preface some missions. The developers at the time said they were inspired by both the Red Dawn movie as well as Call of Duty and Medal of Honor, and wanted players to feel like a small cog as part of a larger machine, and this is done in game by having you control a handful of units, usually tasked with aiding one or multiple of your AI co-commanders. Now, sadly, the official servers were shut down back in 2015, though Ubisoft, who bought the game's developer studio, relaunched them back in 2017. I'm just not sure how populated these servers are at the time that I'm writing this script. I would, however, recommend against buying this if you are hoping to experience the multiplayer aspect, as it will just most likely be pretty hard to find even a 1v1 or 2v2 game, but it's a single player campaign that is definitely worth experiencing. Men of War Assault Squad 1, or MOAS, is a really good candidate to finish off this list. Do keep in mind, I'm only doing games under $10. Now, if you had a budget 2.5 times as much, I would 100% recommend that you get Men of War Assault Squad 2 instead. MOAS was my first Men of War title game, and I almost instantly became a fan. It felt like Company of Heroes, with a lot more control over your units, deadlier battles, and no base building, honestly just pure action. The lack of health bars for tanks, as well as realistic penetration mechanics, detailed inventories for vehicles and soldiers, combined with the direct control mechanic, really allows you to play MOAS your way. You can opt to never direct control units and just play it like a regular RTS, or you can go micro heavy and directly impact the battle in your favor. In most of Men of War Assault Squad, you'll control multiple squads of infantry while also controlling a vehicle or 2 or 3 at a time. This is quite comparable to Company of Heroes, though custom missions or scenarios that you can make in the editor can be huge in scale, really making you feel part of a huge ongoing battle. Just like World in Conflict, the official servers have been shut down quite a while ago, but I'm pretty sure you can still use virtual LAN software like Hamachi to still play co-op with your friends. You can of course also just play one of the missions for the Japanese, Americans, British, Germans, or Soviets by yourself. Each of these 5 nations comes with 3 missions, though for less than $2 you can get the Skirmish DLC, which does add 1 mission of pretty decent quality per faction. MOAS comes with an extensive editor, which allows you to edit existing maps and missions to your own liking, or allows you to create completely new maps, scenarios, and even campaigns. A large part of Men of War has always been the mods, and sadly it wasn't until Men of War Assault Squad 2 where the Steam Workshop became integrated into the game. Now, to be honest, Assault Squad 1 has been mostly forgotten by mod makers since then, but on ModDB you can still find a ton of mods to check out. With that, we've reached the end of this video. I look forward to seeing what you think of this list and if you would have rather seen a different game featured at one of these spots. For now, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll catch you in the next one.